Imagine waking up every day with a crystal-clear sense of purpose, not swayed by setbacks, unfazed by the chaos around you, and relentlessly focused on what truly matters. It sounds almost superhuman, doesn't it? Yet this was the everyday reality for one of the most powerful men in ancient history, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher. His personal notes, a collection that has survived millennia, aren't just musings of a bygone era, but are startlingly relevant advice on how to harness the power of self-discipline amidst the noise of life. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of Stoicism, exploring its principles not as abstract concepts, but as practical tools for living a more disciplined, fulfilled life. Stoicism teaches us how to turn adversity into advantage, emotional turmoil into tranquility, and life's unpredictability into a wellspring of strength. Whether you're struggling with daily stresses, seeking inner peace, or looking to elevate your productivity, understanding the Stoic way of life offers profound insights. In a world brimming with endless distractions and instant gratification, the Stoic philosophy grounds us in the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. It's about more than just enduring life. It's about thriving in it, no matter what comes your way. So if you're ready to transform how you view and handle life's challenges, stay tuned as we unpack the powerful, life-altering teachings of Marcus Aurelius and how they can be applied to cultivate a robust, disciplined life today. As we embark on this journey through Stoic philosophy and the profound teachings of Marcus Aurelius, if you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. Also, don't skip any part of the video because if you're here, you're different from the majority, so consider yourself an exception and stay tuned for the unique insights we'll explore together. Number 1. Self-discipline starts with finding your purpose. At the heart of Marcus Aurelius's philosophy is the belief that self-discipline begins with finding your purpose. But what does it really mean to find your purpose? It's about discovering what truly matters to you, what drives you at your core, and aligning your daily actions with that deeper calling. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about living in agreement with nature, which in Stoic terms means understanding your role in the larger scheme of things and acting in harmony with your virtues. For Aurelius, the purpose wasn't just a lofty ideal, but a practical compass that guided his every decision, from the mundane to the monumental. He believed that understanding one's purpose is what pushes you out of bed in the morning, ready to face the challenges of the day. It's what keeps you steadfast when temptations beckon you to stray, and it's not about grandiose achievements or external accolades, but about fulfilling the duties that life has laid out for you, performing each task with commitment and integrity. In a modern context, finding your purpose can often feel overwhelming. We live in a world saturated with choices and distractions that can lead us away from our true paths. Here is where Stoic wisdom is not just helpful but essential. Stoicism teaches us to peel back the layers of superficial desires and fleeting emotions to reveal what is truly essential for our well-being and growth. It encourages us to ask ourselves, what is truly worth my time and energy? How can my actions today contribute to the greater good and to my personal development? As we explore how to apply this principle in our lives, think about what you are naturally drawn to, where you find deep satisfaction, or what challenges you are motivated to solve. These are clues to your purpose, and once identified, the Stoic practice of daily reflection becomes invaluable. By continuously aligning your actions with your purpose, by saying no to what doesn't serve you and yes to what does, you cultivate the self-discipline necessary to live a meaningful and impactful life. Let's take this insight from Marcus Aurelius and apply it daily. Ask yourself each morning, what am I meant to do today? And each evening, Have I lived true to my purpose? Over time, this practice will not only build self-discipline, but also transform your life into a more purposeful and fulfilling journey. Number 2, count on yourself. When Marcus Aurelius wrote about self-discipline, a recurring theme in his reflections was the importance of relying on oneself. Count on yourself is not just about self-reliance, but an integral part of the Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes the importance of personal accountability and independence. This isn't about isolation or rejecting assistance from others. Rather, it's about recognizing that the ultimate responsibility for our actions, reactions, and personal growth rests within us. In Stoicism, the idea of focusing on what is within our control is paramount. Aurelius often discussed the power of the self in confronting whatever challenges life throws our way. By counting on ourselves, we tap into our inner resilience and strength. This principle teaches us to trust in our abilities to navigate through life's uncertainties and adversities. It's about building confidence, not through arrogance, but through competence and a thorough understanding of one's own capacities and virtues. This self-reliance is liberating, but also daunting in today's interconnected world, where opinions and advice are constantly at our fingertips. Learning to listen to our inner voice can be challenging. However, Stoicism teaches us to filter out the noise and to trust in our reasoned judgments. Aurelius believed that this internal guidance was the most reliable counsel one could have because it is rooted in reason and virtue. By counting on ourselves, we also develop autonomy in our decision-making processes. It enables us to make choices that are aligned with our values and principles rather than being swayed by external pressures or temporary emotions. This autonomy is crucial for maintaining personal integrity and for living a life that is true to oneself. So how can we start to truly count on ourselves? It begins with small steps, making commitments and keeping them, setting personal goals and working towards them independently, and taking time to reflect on our decisions and their alignment with our core values. Over time, these practices strengthen our self-discipline, making us more resilient and grounded in the face of life's challenges. Number 3, show up every day. Marcus Aurelius consistently emphasized the power of persistence, of showing up not just in body, but in spirit every single day. This practice is not about monumental efforts unleashed sporadically, but about the quiet, steady dedication to daily tasks, which collectively forge a disciplined life. For Aurelius, showing up every day was synonymous with the Stoic idea of living in accordance with nature. To him, nature demanded of us not just to exist, but to actively participate in life, to contribute to the world through our actions, no matter how small or routine they might seem. Each day presented itself as a new arena, not for grand battles, but for proving one's commitment to their principles and duties. It's in the consistency, the everyday effort, where character is built and tested. In today's world, where distractions are many and motivations can be fleeting, the idea of showing up every day gains even more significance. It's easy to feel inspired one day and completely off track the next. Here, Stoicism teaches us the value of consistency. It's not the intensity, but the regularity of our actions that cultivates true discipline. This doesn't mean that every day needs to be a masterpiece of productivity. Rather, it's about not letting a day slip by unnoticed or unutilized. Whether it's advancing in our career, improving our health, or deepening our relationships, progress in any area requires the simple, often overlooked commitment to show up every day. Moreover, showing up every day is deeply intertwined with the Stoic practice of mindfulness, being present in the now and doing today's work today, without the burdens of yesterday's failures or tomorrow's worries. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about focusing on the present, about doing the task at hand to the best of one's ability. This focus is what turns routine into ritual and effort into improvement. To cultivate this discipline, start small. Decide what showing up means for you. It could be as simple as writing a single paragraph of that book you've been meaning to write, doing a 5-minute workout, or spending 10 uninterrupted minutes with a loved one. The scale is not what transforms us, it's the act of showing up itself. Each day that you meet your commitment, you reinforce your willpower and build the resilience that defines Stoic philosophy. By adopting this daily practice, you embody the Stoic belief in personal responsibility and continuous self-improvement. You become a living testament to the idea that while we may not control the outcomes, we can control our efforts. In the consistent act of showing up, we find the discipline necessary to lead a purposeful and fulfilling life. Number 4, practice voluntary hardship. This Stoic practice, strongly advocated by Marcus Aurelius, is about much more than just making life intentionally difficult. It's about preparing oneself for the unpredictabilities of life, strengthening one's resilience, and deepening appreciation for what one has. Marcus Aurelius, like many Stoics, believed that experiencing discomfort voluntarily helps to fortify the mind against times when life might force discomfort upon us. This could mean choosing to forego certain luxuries, enduring physical challenges, or simply practicing self-denial in small, everyday decisions. The logic is straightforward. If you're accustomed to hardship, sudden adversities won't throw you off balance. You're training your resilience muscles, so to speak, ensuring you can face life's challenges with a calm and composed mind. But why embrace discomfort in a world that constantly strives to offer us comfort? The answer lies in the very fabric of Stoic philosophy. Growth often happens at the edges of comfort zones. By voluntarily stepping into less comfortable spaces, we not only test our mental and emotional boundaries, but also expand them. This practice isn't about punishing oneself, but about shifting perspective from seeing comfort as a necessity to we are not defined by our circumstances, but by our reactions to them. This understanding fosters a profound sense of freedom, enabling us to engage with life's complexities without being overwhelmed by them. Number 7, cultivate gratitude. In a world often focused on what's lacking, Stoicism encourages us to practice gratitude as a means of enhancing our perspective on life. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself of the importance of appreciating what he had, recognizing that gratitude is a powerful antidote to discontent and dissatisfaction. By consciously acknowledging the positive aspects of our lives, we shift our focus from what is missing to what is present, fostering a more positive and resilient mindset. Incorporating gratitude into our daily lives can be as simple as keeping a gratitude journal, where we regularly jot down things we are thankful for. This practice can help us develop a habit of looking for the good, even amid challenges. It can be as basic as appreciating a warm cup of tea on a chilly morning, the laughter of a friend, or the beauty of nature. Each moment of gratitude acts as a reminder that, despite the struggles we face, there are still many things to be thankful for. Moreover, gratitude enhances our relationships with others. By expressing appreciation to those around us, we strengthen our connections and foster a sense of community. It encourages us to look beyond ourselves, recognizing the contributions of others to our well-being. This perspective shift helps cultivate a more compassionate outlook, reinforcing the Stoic belief in the interconnectedness of humanity. Number 8, embrace change. Change is an inevitable part of life, and Stoicism teaches us to accept it with grace and resilience. Marcus Aurelius understood that everything is in a constant state of flux, And rather than resisting change, we should learn to adapt and find meaning within it. This acceptance can lead to greater peace of mind and a deeper understanding of life's impermanence. To embrace change, we must first recognize our natural resistance to it. It's human to want to cling to what is familiar and comfortable, but Stoicism urges us to confront this fear head-on. By reframing our perspective, we can view change as an opportunity for growth and transformation rather than a threat. This mindset shift allows us to approach new situations with curiosity rather than anxiety. Practicing mindfulness can also help us navigate change more effectively. By staying present and focused on the here and now, we can reduce the stress and uncertainty often associated with change. Rather than worrying about what might happen, we can engage fully with our current circumstances, responding thoughtfully and intentionally. In summary, the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and the principles of Stoicism provide valuable insights into leading a disciplined and fulfilling life. By finding our purpose, counting on ourselves, showing up every day, practicing voluntary hardship, understanding the dichotomy of control, rejecting a victim mentality, cultivating gratitude, and embracing change, we can cultivate a resilient and empowered mindset. As we continue to explore the transformative power of Stoic philosophy, let us remember that the journey toward personal growth is a continuous one. In the heart of ancient Rome, there lived a young man named Marcus. Marcus struggled to find purpose in his life, often feeling lost amidst the expectations placed upon him. One day, while wandering the forum, he overheard a group of philosophers discussing the teachings of a great Stoic sage. Intrigued, Marcus approached them and learned about the profound principles of Stoicism, ideas that promised clarity and strength in the face of life's challenges. Inspired, he decided to seek out the philosopher, a wise man named Seneca, who resided on the outskirts of the city. Marcus trekked to Seneca's modest abode, a simple structure adorned with the beauty of nature. Upon arriving, he found the philosopher sitting in his garden, surrounded by fragrant herbs and vibrant flowers. The serenity of the setting calmed Marcus's restless spirit. "Welcome, young seeker," Seneca greeted him with a warm smile. "What brings you to my humble home?" "I wish to learn about Stoicism," Marcus replied earnestly. "I yearn for purpose and wisdom, but I feel adrift in this vast world." Seneca nodded knowingly, gesturing for Marcus to sit. "Let us begin your journey then. The first step is to find your purpose. Every individual possesses a unique calling that drives them. It is your task to discover what that is." As they conversed, Marcus learned that purpose is not merely about grand ambitions, but also about understanding one's values and passions. Inspired, he resolved to reflect on what truly mattered to him. With Seneca's guidance, he spent days contemplating his interests, values, and the impact he wished to have on the world. Through introspection, Marcus discovered his love for teaching. He realized that he wanted to help others find their own paths, just as he was learning to do. Armed with this newfound clarity, he expressed his desire to share the wisdom of Stoicism with his peers, eager to inspire them to live with intention. Seneca smiled, impressed by Marcus's resolve. "Remember, young man, true wisdom lies not just in understanding, but in action. You must show up every day, committed to your purpose, even when faced with difficulties." Eager to apply his newfound knowledge, Marcus began gathering his friends and neighbors to share the teachings he had learned. He spoke of the importance of self-reliance and the value of confronting life's challenges with courage. Yet he soon faced opposition. Many dismissed his ideas as impractical or overly simplistic. Faced with their skepticism, Marcus felt disheartened. However, Seneca's words echoed in his mind. show up every day. Determined not to falter, Marcus continued to hold discussions, addressing concerns with empathy and understanding. Over time, some began to see the value in his teachings, and his gatherings grew. But success did not come without hardship. One fateful evening, a sudden storm ravaged the city. As lightning illuminated the sky, panic ensued. Many of Marcus's friends lost their homes, while others were left without food. Witnessing their despair, Marcus felt overwhelmed. How could he help? In that moment of crisis, he remembered the Stoic principle of voluntary hardship. Instead of succumbing to fear, Marcus resolved to lead by example. He rallied his friends and community members, encouraging them to come together to support one another. They organized efforts to provide shelter and food for those in need. As they worked side by side, Marcus shared stories of resilience and gratitude. He emphasized the importance of appreciating what they had, even in the face of adversity. The sense of community grew stronger, and bonds were forged through shared hardship. Through this experience, Marcus learned another vital lesson: the dichotomy of control. While he could not control the storm or the circumstances that arose, he could control how he responded to them. This realization empowered him, reinforcing his commitment to Stoic principles. In the weeks that followed, Marcus faced numerous challenges, from financial difficulties to personal doubts. At times, he felt the weight of the world on his shoulders. But he embraced the idea of rejecting a victim mentality, recognizing that life's trials were opportunities for growth. He began practicing mindfulness, focusing on the present moment and the actions he could take, rather than dwelling on what he could not change. This shift in mindset allowed him to approach each day with renewed vigor and purpose. As the seasons changed, so did Marcus. He developed a deep sense of gratitude for the lessons life had to offer. Each morning, he would rise before dawn, standing in his garden to reflect on the beauty surrounding him. He wrote in his journal, noting the small joys that often went unnoticed: the laughter of children, the warmth of the sun, and the kindness of neighbors. With each passing day, Marcus's teachings flourished. He began to hold larger gatherings, inviting people from neighboring towns to learn about Stoicism. His reputation grew, and soon he found himself addressing audiences in grand forums, sharing his journey and the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. One day, as he stood before a captivated crowd, he recounted his own experiences of struggle, resilience, and growth. He spoke of the importance of embracing change, a theme that resonated deeply with his listeners. "Life is ever-changing," he declared. "It is our response to change that shapes our character and defines our path. Embrace it with open arms, for it is through change that we grow." The crowd erupted in applause, and in that moment, Marcus realized the impact he had made. He had transformed not only his own life, but the lives of many others through the power of Stoic philosophy. Years later, as he stood on the balcony of his modest home overlooking the bustling streets of Rome, Marcus reflected on his journey. The young man who had once felt lost had become a beacon of wisdom and inspiration for countless others. He understood that his purpose was not just to teach, but to embody the very principles he preached. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Marcus felt a profound sense of fulfillment. He had learned that true strength lies not in the absence of challenges, but in the courage to face them with wisdom, gratitude, and grace. With a heart full of purpose, he whispered a silent prayer of gratitude to the universe for guiding him on this transformative journey, a journey that began with a single question and blossomed into a lifelong pursuit of meaning and fulfillment. And so, the story of Marcus reminds us all that while we cannot control the circumstances of our lives, we can choose how to respond to them. Through self-reflection, gratitude, and a commitment to our purpose, we can navigate the complexities of existence with the wisdom of the Stoics lighting our path. In a bustling city, there lived a young woman named Eleanor. She worked tirelessly as a marketing executive in a prestigious firm. On the surface, she appeared to have it all: a stable job, a sleek apartment, and a vibrant social life. However, deep down, she felt unfulfilled and overwhelmed by the relentless pressure to succeed. One rainy afternoon, as she sat in a crowded cafe, staring blankly at her computer screen, she overheard a conversation at the next table. Two older women were discussing a recent seminar they had attended on personal growth and self-discovery. Intrigued, Eleanor couldn't help but listen in. "Life is too short to spend it doing what doesn't bring you joy," one of the women said. "I've learned that finding your purpose is key to true happiness." Elena felt a stirring in her heart. What was her purpose? Despite her achievements, she had never taken the time to consider what truly mattered to her. That evening, she made a spontaneous decision to attend a workshop on personal growth hosted by a local life coach named Ava. The workshop was held in a cozy community center, filled with warm lighting and the scent of fresh coffee. As Eleanor entered, she felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. The room was filled with people from various walks of life, all eager to embark on their journeys of self-discovery. Ava, a dynamic woman in her 40s, stood at the front of the room. With her vibrant energy and infectious smile, she quickly captured everyone's attention. "Welcome. Today we're going to explore the concept of purpose and how to align your life with it," she announced. Throughout the day, Ava led participants through a series of exercises designed to help them reflect on their values, passions, and dreams. Elena found herself pouring her thoughts into a journal, answering questions about what brought her joy and what she wished to contribute to the world. As she wrote, memories flooded back: her childhood dreams of becoming an artist, the joy she felt while volunteering at a local shelter, and her love for storytelling. For the first time in years, she felt a flicker of excitement about the possibilities ahead. At one point, Ava asked everyone to share their insights with the group. When it was Elena's turn, she hesitated. "I've always wanted to be an artist, but I chose marketing because it seemed like the safer option," she confessed, her voice shaking. "Now I feel trapped in a career that doesn't fulfill me." Ava nodded thoughtfully. "It's never too late to pursue your passion, Elena. Fear often holds us back from the lives we truly desire. What would you do if you weren't afraid?" The question lingered in the air long after the workshop ended. As Elena walked home, she couldn't shake off the feeling that this was a turning point in her life. Over the following weeks, Elena began to explore her creative side. She enrolled in an evening art class, where she learned to paint and express herself through colors and shapes. With every brushstroke, she felt a sense of liberation, as if layers of stress were being peeled away. However, the fear of abandoning her stable job loomed large. After a few weeks of juggling both work and art, she realized the toll it was taking on her mental health. One sleepless night, she decided to make a bold move. She drafted her resignation letter, pouring her heart into the words. The next day, with her hands trembling, she submitted it to her boss. "Are you sure about this?" her boss asked, concern etched on his face. "You have a promising career here." "I know, but I need to follow my passion," Elena replied, her voice steady. "I want to be true to myself." With a mixture of fear and exhilaration, Elena stepped into the world of art. Initially, it was challenging. She faced moments of doubt and financial insecurity, but she also experienced a newfound sense of freedom and creativity that she had longed for. She started sharing her artwork online, and to her surprise, people began to take notice. One day, she received a message from a local gallery inviting her to exhibit her work. Overwhelmed with joy, Elena realized that her passion had transformed into a viable path. She spent countless hours preparing for the exhibition, pouring her heart into her art. On the night of the exhibition, surrounded by friends and fellow artists, Elena felt a sense of accomplishment that she had never experienced in her corporate job. The joy on her face was undeniable as people admired her work, discussing the stories behind each piece. Among the guests was Ava, who had been following Elena's journey from the beginning. She approached her, beaming with pride. "You did it! You embraced your purpose and inspired so many in the process." Elena smiled, feeling a warmth spread through her. "Thank you, Ava. I couldn't have done it without your guidance." As they talked, Elena realized how far she had come since that rainy day in the cafe. She had transformed her life through the courage to pursue her dreams. In that moment, she understood that life is a journey, filled with opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Reflecting on Elena's journey reminds me of my own experiences with fear and transformation. There was a time when I felt stuck in a monotonous routine, uncertain about my own purpose. I, too, had to confront the fears that held me back and take the leap toward what truly mattered to me. I remember when I decided to pursue a long-lost passion for writing. It was a daunting decision, leaving behind the familiar and stepping into the unknown. Like Elena, I started small, journaling my thoughts and sharing my writings with friends. Slowly, I found my voice and began to connect with others through my words. One day, I received an email from a friend who had read one of my pieces and wanted to collaborate on a project. That opportunity opened doors I never imagined possible. It was a reminder that taking risks often leads to unexpected rewards. Elena continued to flourish as an artist, using her platform to inspire others to pursue their passions. She hosted workshops, encouraging participants to embrace their fears and discover their true selves. Each time she saw someone blossom into their authentic selves, she was reminded of her own journey. As I reflect on Elena's story and my own, I realize that the path to self-discovery is not linear. It is filled with challenges, triumphs, and lessons learned along the way. Each step we take toward our true selves brings us closer to fulfillment. In the end, it is our willingness to embrace change, confront our fears, and pursue our passions that leads to a life filled with purpose and joy. Just as Elena discovered her artistic voice, we too can find our unique paths, one courageous step at a time. It's never too late to follow your dreams, no matter how daunting that leap may seem. If this story inspired you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need a little motivation today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more uplifting content on personal growth, wisdom, and inspiration. Let's continue to grow together as a community. Remember, your journey of self-discovery is uniquely yours. Embrace it, trust in yourself, and take that leap. Until next time, stay inspired and keep shining.